time for the ride home in ENC.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
This is your 5 o'clock drive with Patrick Johnson.
Holy mackerel!
More news, more interviews, more ECU stories than you can shake a stick at. Hey, stop shaking that stick. This is the Patrick Johnson Show.
Pirates win! Pirates win!
On 94.3 The Game.
All right, welcome. Happy Halloween to you and yours. If you're out and about, up and down the roadways with the kiddies, be on the lookout for cars. If you're behind the wheel of a vehicle, be on the lookout for the kiddies. The ghosts and ghouls, the guys and girls out there. I hear that all of our work colleagues are dressing up for things tonight. I am dressed as someone who's sleep deprived. Philip the Ref Pilkington is dressed as he normally is, like a nerd. So this is the Halloween edition of the show. Pilk, what are the costumes that our colleagues are dressed in? I think Cecilia, who's been stolen away from our ranks, was dressed up as a cowboy from Brokeback Mountain, which is kind of weird. Have we heard anything about Dom or any of the interns? Or
I have no idea. I know that Igo's son is going as a stormtrooper, so he said he's got plenty of Star Wars costumes. He's just going to throw one of those on when he's out trick or treating with his kids.
Wait. Did you just say Igo has plenty of Star Wars costumes?
Yeah, he's done Star Wars the last few years.
So he's a bit of a nerd, as I suspected.
Yeah, 100%.
Is he taking a PJ up to?
No, he's not taking a PJ. He's taking the domestic normal coach flight but he's got to leave Greenville at 4:00 in the morning to drive to Raleigh because he wanted to go trick or treating with his kids tonight.
Well, no, that's understandable. So he's going. And look, that flight, if there's, and I don't think there's any weather, unless there's something up in the Northeast. And I don't think there is. There was earlier in the week, but I mean, I think by and large, if you get on the first flight out and the weather's good, that flight from Raleigh in particular to Philadelphia is easy peasy.
Well, and then the airport's 10 minutes.
Really easy.
Yeah, the airport's 10 minutes from the stadium too, so it's not like he's yeah. So, all
right, Pirate Game Day countdown tomorrow, 11 a.m. here on 94.3 The Game and the IBX Media app. Philip the Ref Pilkington along with
Joey Football and Dom
will be hosting the pregame show tomorrow with all kinds of great fanfare and excitement.
We're expecting Joey Football to hard carry. I'm going to massage after. That back's going to be hurting a little bit after tomorrow's pregame show.
You lost me. What are you saying?
I said Joey Football's back is going to be hurting a little bit after he hard carries that pregame show tomorrow.
What do you mean? Are you not putting forth your best foot? I thought you always put forth.
I do, but here's the thing.
Only for this show. I didn't think you did that for other shows. But just this show is the one that gets secondary effort.
No, what it is this is my first time being with Joey Football in months. And when you haven't had the luxury of being with Joey Football in months, you have to let Joey Football do Joey Football things. It's respect for Joey Football.
No, that's good. He and I hosted one of the pre-games.
Yeah, and I got to listen to about 10 minutes of it, and then I went to the wedding reception. You guys did great the first 10 minutes, and then, Yeah,
well, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I enjoy working with Joe. Enjoy working with you too, Pilk. All right, let's do today on the show. ECU pitching great Pirate baseball analyst Jake Jacobs will be with us. We'll talk about the Trey Savage performance. Of course, Game 6 tonight from Toronto in the World Series as the Blue Jays try to close out the defending world champ Dodgers. And Luke Schwartz from the Blitz will be on. We've got high school football on the airwaves tonight. Speaking of Pirate football, its radio voice Dylan Johnson and Walt Pollard will be at Rose Conley tonight. Congrats to our Pitt County volleyball teams as well, playing for state championships this weekend. Conley playing today against Marvin Ridge. Watauga, and that's who Rose is playing tomorrow on the 6A at 4 o'clock from Reynolds Coliseum, and at 1:30 tomorrow, Coach Waters and Aiden Grifton. The Chargers will take on Pine Lake Prep, 1:30 from Reynolds Coliseum tomorrow in Raleigh. All right, those are all the house cleaning items. Hit it.
This may very well be our last mission. Let's make it count.
This is the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
It's impossible.
Now some stories you may have heard.
You ready?
Or catch it for the first time. This is your 5 at 5 with the P-Man.
All right, my number one doesn't appear to be working. Give me a number, Pilk.
Number one. All righty, here we go. Number one, we're just going to go through everything going on in Pirate Athletics right now. And
Around the Pirate Nation, as it were.
Yes, around the Pirate Nation. Volleyball will be in action top of the hour against Rice inside Williams Arena Minges Coliseum. They will also host Temple at 2 o'clock on Sunday. Remember, admission is free to volleyball all season long. I think so.
Double check that. Please let that be at 2. Pilk, I may come through this screen and kiss you on the mouth if that's the case. If it's at 2 o'clock.
What time did you think
it was? At noon. I thought it was at noon.
I was going through this stuff very fast this afternoon.
Well, this is my fatal flaw, listening to you and trusting you, apparently.
Oh, you're right, noon. Sorry. It's the second.
Son of a
It was the November the 2nd. That's what got me off. Because it didn't have 12. It had noon. Sorry. I botched it.
If I could kick you in the shin right now.
You got to catch me first, PJ.
Oh no, I'm faster than you think. What do you got here? What else are you saying?
Soccer will be in action on Monday at 7:30.
How did they lose to Charlotte yesterday?
I don't know. Lost to Charlotte. They did make the conference tournament. All roads lead to the NCAA tournament. You just got to win the next 3, baby. That's all it takes.
Oh, we've seen that. We've seen that movie before.
Yeah, we've seen that movie 365 days ago. So we're good.
Yep. All right.
Never a doubt. And football will be in action tomorrow, as PJ mentioned, 11 to 1. Pirate Game Day Countdown. Network takes over at 1, game at 2. First game in 16 days. Raheem Craig on Monday talked to the media and talked about how they stay up to game speed during such a long layoff.
You still got to put the work in, even on the bye week. So, nothing change week by week, no matter if we have a game or not. So, the speed in practice and the speed of the way we do things, don't ever switch up. So, it's just really, that's going to come, just natural, of how we already just do things.
Who wins first down? Who takes care of the football wins the game tomorrow. Period.
I agree. Both these teams are good when playing ahead of the sticks. If you can force the other one to play behind the sticks, you can be in real trouble.
All right. Let's see. What's the line as of this very moment while we're doing this? Blah, 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 blah. We've gotten up to 5.5.
And it had gotten back down to 4.5.
Oh, had it dropped?
Yeah, as of yesterday it had, and now it looks like it's back up to 5.5.
Okay. So it's a good waiver between there and there and there. Boy, that's some unusual movement to go 4.5 to 5.5 to 4.5 back up to 5.5. That's kind of unusual. I'm dubious of your talking there.
Number 2.
That means I don't believe you. All right, go ahead.
Tonight, Game 6 of the World Series. Hopefully we see Jeff Hoffman. We will not see Trey Savage. And too bad the LA Dodgers didn't have Tulane's scouting report. Maybe the Dodgers wouldn't have struck out so many times because Tulane supposedly owns Trey. Just ask their Twitter, baby.
That was funny. I got awesome. It. The level of petty on that was actually pretty funny. A couple of things here tonight. And speaking of Tulane, we didn't mention this we'll mention this a little bit later on, but obviously Tulane getting smoked last night at UTSA is huge. So they shouldn't be talking about anything to anybody the way their football team got embarrassed last night. All right. How do you manage this game if you're Toronto? How do you manage this game if you're are all hands on deck from the pen? Are all bats available for this one? Do you manage it like there is no tomorrow? Because that's how I think the Dodgers are going to have to manage it and how it will be played, despite the fact their bullpen stinks.
So, Patrick, I think right now, as we sit here at 0-0, yes. But if you get too far behind, and the likelihood of you coming back is very slim, don't let today beat you twice if you're Toronto. Right now, yes, all hands on deck. Don't get to Game 7. Find a way to win it. But if things start unfolding poorly, you've got to be mature about the situation.
We will hear more from Jake Jacobs in a moment about this. All right, what else we got?
3.
Number 3, Championship 4 NASCAR this weekend. It starts tonight with the Truck Series. You got Corey Heim, Caden Honeycutt, Ty Majeski, and Tyler Ankrum. Tomorrow will be the Xfinity Series. 4 drivers left are Connor Zilic, Carson Quapple, Justin Allgaier, Jesse Love. And then the Cup Series will be on Sunday. William Byron, Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, and Chase Briscoe. Those are your 12 drivers going for...
being executed. Where's all this taking place?
It's in the Valley of the Sun out in Phoenix. Which
that NASCAR hotbed.
Yeah, but supposedly they put on a heck of a show. I just feel bad for the people out there working because, when you work in sports, Patrick, you know this, you convert everything to Eastern time, regardless of what time zone you're in. So today and tomorrow for the people in Arizona, that's a 3-hour difference. When they wake up Sunday morning, it will be a 2-hour difference.
Yeah.
Because they don't do daylight savings time.
Yeah. I saw the blurb on this morning and getting ready for morning show sports, and I thought to myself, who knew? Now, you knew because you love this stuff. I want NASCAR to be good. I want it to be interesting. But it gets swallowed up. It just gets swallowed up this time of year.
It does.
That's an unfortunate thing. And they've got to figure out a way to... Maybe they don't care because they're happy with the dollars and the TV deal, but they've got to come up with a way to figure this out.
So quick, I'll do a quick thing on it. They were asking drivers the other day what they would change if they were the president of NASCAR for a day, and Kyle Larson said that he would implement 4 or 5 midweek races so that the season would end, a lot earlier. Yeah.
Yeah. They need to figure out a way to shorten the season.
4.
Number 4, last night, Lamar Jackson in his return throws 4 touchdown passes, throws for over 200 yards, and it was being reported during the game by the broadcast team that the Ravens, despite at the time being 2-5, now being 3-5, are the favorite to win the AFC North. Steelers sitting at 4-3 on top of that division right now, and that's a little surprising. I know the Ravens are good, but not a lot of faith in the Steelers there from the people out in Sin City.
No surprise that Al Michaels was mentioning gambling during the and the lines during the and the odds during the broadcast. Look, if he's healthy and he's back, now it's like anything else. You just got to get in. I mean, it's kind of what Kansas City right now. I mean, if you're in the AFC right now with Kansas City right there, and now Baltimore with a healthy or at least Lamar playing. You can't feel good about where you are.
No.
Who can feel good? I mean, who's going to get over? I mean, outside of Indianapolis, correct me if I'm wrong, Pilk. Is there anybody else who seems to be maybe in a spot where they're untouchable? But I mean, it would seem to me everybody else is looking at the very realistic possibility. Maybe Buffalo is not, but everybody else is looking at the very realistic possibility that one of these two are going to steamroll into this thing and catch you, and even surpass you and maybe eliminate you.
Yeah. Talk to me in a couple of weeks about whether or not Indianapolis is untouchable. That schedule is about to get really tough.
But they have built a heck of a start.
They have
built a heck of a start.
But Buffalo won't get past. Now, they could get steamrolled in the playoffs.
Sure. And unless Indy just has a monumental collapse, I don't see either one of those teams passing Indy. Maybe Kansas City. Maybe. But I don't see it. But we'll see. You're right. See what's going on. Speaking of the schedule.
5.
Number 5, our weekly picking our favorite college and pro games for the week. What we will be watching. PJ, college?
I won't be watching anything this weekend, unfortunately, because I'll be working the whole time. But obviously, I'm interested to see what happens with our game tomorrow in the American Navy in North Texas. And given the results of last night's game and Tulane being dealt their first conference loss, whoever wins this seems to have the inside track because both are undefeated in the conference. The game's at North Texas.
North Texas has one loss.
In the conference?
Yeah.
Do they?
Yeah, they lost to South Florida, I think. Yep,
Double
South
check
Florida.
that, Bill.
Friday the
Okay.
10th, they lost to South Florida, 63-36.
Okay. Well, still, this is now kind of Navy's race to run here.
Yep.
And either Navy runs away and guarantees their position in the spot, North Texas can maybe get back into this thing. So that actually changes my statement. North Texas can't afford a second conference loss.
Yep.
So they should be playing pretty desperate tomorrow. Tonight, you got UNC losers of 4 in a row at Syracuse, who's terrible. And then I'm intrigued, actually, by Virginia, who has been fortunate, really, to win the games they've won, traveling out to Cal to take on the Golden Bears. Not that I think Cal's any great shakes, but you have Virginia now going across the country to play a conference game. Let's see how they do and if they stay on this win streak.
The interesting thing.
That's my college.
Yeah, Patrick, I think this could be the game of the week, the one you just mentioned. Cal, solid, but they looked really bad last week against a horrendous Virginia Tech team. They're going to be a little hacked off
Perhaps.
about the way they played. Just saying. I think that one's sneaky good. Late night, little Big 12 after dark. I like Cincinnati and Utah. Cincinnati's 7-1. Nobody's talking about them for the college football playoff. Nobody's talking about them winning the Big 12 because everybody's talking about BYU and Texas Tech. But hey, Bearcats looking pretty good. They can win that one on the road at Utah at midnight or whenever the hell it starts.
The NFL skipped the first part of the day Sunday. Go do something. Touch some grass because that's not a great slate.
Watch NASCAR.
Indianapolis at Pittsburgh, for the reasons we've kind of talked about last topic. You like Denver, Houston. I guess we'll find out how legit Houston is. The walking wounded noses, the Niners going to New York to take on the Giants, the football Giants. Only interesting because it's at West coming east, and we don't know what's going on with Brock Purdy. And, I mean, it's the obvious game of the week is going to be Kansas City at Buffalo. And shame on the NFL for subjecting us Sunday night to Seattle and Washington, and on Monday subjecting us to Arizona and Dallas. That's embarrassing.
The one interesting thing is Arizona now has Dallas's playbook. As Arizona did just sign Jalen Brooks off of Dallas's practice squad. Shout out to my boy Jalen for getting back in on an active roster.
That's not interesting enough to take.
Hey, the Panthers tried to cheat. The Panthers tried to cheat last week and signed the practice squad quarterback off the Bills, and we saw how that went.
You think that the Sunday night and Monday night games are hideous? Let me tell you who's playing next Thursday in the National Football League, Pilk.
I'm scared.
Cleveland and the Jets.
No, it's not right.
Yeah, it is.
No,
It's
it's
Thursday.
Denver and Oakland, Vegas, wherever the hell they're called.
What happened to Cleveland and the Jets? I thought they were playing on that Thursday.
No, they're playing at 1 o'clock. I don't know if it may have got flexed or something. I don't know. But Cleveland and the Jets, I think the only people that care are Joey Football and Billy Grover, and they still might not care.
And they need to put a wager on that.
They do.
I'm calling on you to get a wager instituted tomorrow.
All right.
All
I'll do
right.
it.
Jake Jacobs is pitching royalty at ECU. We're going to talk to him coming up about this. What are you playing, Bilk? Some choir music? Oh, there he is. If you're with us on the video, there's Jake Jacobs, dressed as a former pitcher for Halloween. We're coming back with more of the PJ Show. Luke Schwartz still to come, and Jake Jacobs talking ball when we come back.
The team of Flatlands Jessup is working overtime to help ensure that Eastern North Carolinians like you get the health insurance help you need this open enrollment period. New legislation passed meaning more people than ever qualify for affordable coverage. Let us help you today.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers in Greenville, plus the all-new Tiebreakers in Winterville. Do real burgers better than anybody. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, real burgers at its best.
Everybody loves burgers.
Big tax credits are back. Get a 30% tax credit, up to $2,000 off your new Mitsubishi electric heat pump install. Let Comfort Master help you take advantage of the tax credits with a qualifying Mitsubishi electric ducted heat pump or non-ducted Mitsubishi electric mini splits. Mitsubishi electric mini splits are ideal for bonus rooms, garages, or sunrooms. If you need a new HVAC unit, call Comfort Master today.
Call Comfort Master. Call Comfort Master.
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt and Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt and Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Healthwise Pharmacy rounds the bases with all of your infusion, retail, compounding, and medical equipment needs. Locally owned and operated by pharmacist Marcy Parker, Healthwise has grown to be your most trusted provider for infusion services. Currently providing in-home or on-site infusions in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Visit Healthwise Pharmacy at 615B South Memorial Drive or call 252-295-0059 to speak to a patient service representative to find the option that best suits your needs.
In this age of globalization, we've learned that bigger isn't always better. Ever tried to get phone help from a big corporation from a real person? Right. That's what's so nice about Phelps Chevrolet. After more than 50 years serving our community, Phelps remains family-owned and operated. Mike, Daryl, Wave, West, Alan, and Clay deliver hometown service and integrity, same as always. They share your experience, they share your values, and they are ready to help with any motoring need. Come get you one.
Tired of the 1-800 numbers advertising Medicare products? Flatlands Jessup has 6 offices all throughout eastern North Carolina. You get face-to-face help from our local award-winning licensed team. Stop by today. Flatlands Jessup, your whole world covered.
Listen up. He's talking now.
Sorry, thought we were vibing.
The Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
All right, coming off a memorable, historic performance in Game 5 in Los Angeles the other night, and tonight the Blue Jays, as a result, will have a chance to sew up the Fall Classic at home. A couple of chances, in fact, on their home field against the Dodgers. Jake Jacobs, one-time ECU pitching great. All-around great guy as well. Jake, nice to have you with us here. I wanted to get your reaction as a pitcher, as a brilliant baseball analyst, on the Trey Savage performance. And just, I know you probably watched that in a lot of, with a lot of pride, but also in a lot of kind of amazement that a guy that young was able to do what he was able to do.
Yeah, it really is a very cool story, Patrick. And first off, man, thanks a lot for having me. It's great to see you and have a chance to be on the show again. Yeah, it's really quite the story, right? I mean, you think about he started the year in A-ball in the Florida State League, and having played in that league, I can tell you it is a long way away from the big leagues. And, to hear about a guy making that progression that fast is a really cool story. And then to see just the poise and maturity that he's pitched with on the big stage, it is a real feel-good story, not just for ECU folks, but particularly sweet for us ECU folks, but certainly just a cool story in baseball in general. And so, what a great time of the year it is, Patrick. I mean, the Ducks are migrating, the Bucks are running, and we got Game 6 and 7 of the World Series. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Don't forget Pirate football. Wait a minute, is that a prediction? When you say Game 6 and Game 7, is that a prediction, Jake?
I'm a big believer in the home field advantage. I'm also a big believer in pitching. Great pitching wins championships. And I will tell you, this kid for the Dodgers that's going to throw tonight, he is nasty. And so, I didn't really see a lot of great at-bats strung together in the first time they faced Yamamoto. So it's going to be interesting to watch this outing. If they can put together some quality at-bats against this guy, maybe it's a different outcome. But Man, what a great thing it would be to have Game 7. That's just, it's the things that as little boys and growing up thinking about playing baseball, man, Game 7 of the World Series is what everybody puts in their mind.
I do hope it goes to Game 7 because it's really been a very fun series in a lot of ways. And we were talking about this on the show the other day, that the TV ratings are the highest since the Cleveland-Chicago Cubs series of 16. And that's a great thing for baseball because I don't think people are totally sick of the Dodgers yet. They'll get there because that window is going to be open, I think, for a minute. And then you've got, Toronto being international, what was going to be the interest. So I think it's great that people have been tuning in. The games have been compelling in the 18. Did you watch the whole 18 innings earlier in the week?
You know what? I'm ashamed to say, yes, I did. Various times during the evening, I received that beckon up the steps. Are you still awake? Yes. We're in the 13th inning. We're in the 15th inning. So, and I let out a giant, oh my God, the minute that Freeman hit that ball. So, by the way, what a cool story he is, right? Just what a cool career he's had. What a really cool individual Freddie Freeman is. And, it's really cool to watch, his story develop. By the way, I think the reason the Dodgers are not this like most hated team ever or whatever. It's just a lot of really good guys on that team, great personalities. Ohtani is a big time class act. I mean, that guy is, he's a once in a generation talent. And it's just interesting to watch him. If you watch him play, he's such a gentleman on the field and he's so classy and does all the little things you want a baseball player to do. And then, Freddie Freeman, of course, is a great story. I'm a huge Mookie Betts fan. Really like that guy. I love the way he plays the game. I think we've all been exposed to Kike Hernandez. What a cool story he is. So the Dodgers are fun to watch, and the whole Clayton Kershaw thing this year has been fun to watch. Yeah. But hey, what about Toronto? I mean, a team that, particularly in our market, we don't get to see them play a whole lot. And, we all knew Guerrero was a great hitter. Who knew that he's as good a player as he is? I mean, just all around, he is a really, really good baseball player.
The great Jake Jacobs, ECU great baseball analyst, with us here on the Patrick Johnson Show. All right, we'll come back to the series in a minute. I have a couple of other things to ask you about that kind of have sprung to mind here in talking to you. You played in that league in Florida, the Florida State League. Any great story that you can either clean up for radio or just tell that's radio friendly from your time in the Florida State League?
Yeah, I can tell you the challenge of the Florida State League is this, right? As a player, it normally, not for everybody, but normally the Florida State League is your first year in what they call full season A ball, right? A lot of college guys go to what they call short season A. It's where they go to teams that don't get cranked up until after the draft. And when I played, that was the case. So I spent my first year in Oregon, and then that next year, some of the guys split off and went to the Florida State League. And so the interesting thing about the Florida State League is for a lot of guys, it's their first full season of professional baseball. And for those of, just to give a little perspective, it's a huge difference in playing a 60-game college schedule and playing a little summer ball, in a college league, and going to a pro schedule where you play 160 days in a row. I mean, it's insane. And from a pitching standpoint, quite honestly, it's a lot easier than the position players. I used to feel really bad for the position players after about 60 or 70 days of that. Man, those guys are really beat up. But what I'll say about the Florida State League is there's a lot of talent in that league because it's pro talent, but it's young talent. And what most of the time with young players, they're trying to build consistency. They're trying to learn how to adapt to the pro game, and they're learning how to build consistency in their own game. And I think that's what's really interesting about the Trey Savage story, in the fact that here's a guy that started in A-ball, and now you see him pitching, where he's pitching now, and he has command of 3 pitches, which is at his age, three dominant pitches. I mean, the guy's got an electric fastball. His slider is good. It's good by major league standards. But that split finger, man, when it's on, that is a nasty, nasty pitch. And you combine that with the fact that he throws from that really funky arm slot. He's just unconventional, right? So here's the deal. When you're a guy like that, the key is to becoming a pro player is to be able to put consistency to your game. And for him to be able to do it the way he's done it, and then just arrive on the big league stage. I mean, he doesn't look intimidated. He doesn't look nervous. I'm sure he is a little nervous. But anyway, it's a pretty cool story. So as for the Florida State League, I heard Steve Logan on his show this past week talk about playing in Temple and how he hated playing in Temple. The Florida State League is a summer of playing at Temples. It is major league ballparks. So these are the spring training facilities that the major league teams use. So you're playing in all these major league sized ballparks. They hold 15, 20, 25,000 people. And there's 9 people at the games. And so it's really tough. What you find is that you find yourself every day really having to learn how to motivate yourself to go out and compete against your fellow players, but really compete against yourself, really challenge yourself. And then the other thing about the Florida State League, buddy, let me just tell you, talk about the dog days of summer. That is the hottest place on earth in July and August. I mean, it is just unbearable in Florida. And so you learn a lot about yourself as a player down there. You sure do. So, hey, Patrick, asked for a quick story. So when I played in the Florida State League with Kansas City Royals, I played for a manager named Carlos Tosca. And Carlos ended up going and managing in the big leagues. And he was a wonderful person, a great man, really, really big leader of men. But early in the season, we started playing, and we play in these big ballparks. So everything you said on the field was like you had a megaphone. It would just echo through the ballpark. And so Carlos was a very religious man. And so very early on, we had to develop a no profanity on the field rule, because when guys would strike out and a profane statement would leak, the entire stadium would hear it. So Carlos instituted a no profanity rule on the field, and maybe one of the hardest rules most of us had to follow in our entire careers.
The great Jake Jacobs with us here. All right, let me ask you this. Who wins tonight and why?
Well, like I said earlier, I lean towards the Dodgers tonight only because that kid pitching for the Dodgers is pretty electric, and he's hard to time up. He's kind of that classic, Japanese style of pitcher. He's got electric stuff. The thing to really watch for him tonight, if you're watching the game, all of his pitches come from the exact same arm slot, so it's really hard you can't pick up any of the pitches, right? So hitters, when I read about what hitters are saying about him, they can't pick up the pitches. They can't see it. It's all got late break. And he's a pretty dynamic guy. The other thing is, the Dodgers lineup is electric. Mookie Betts is due. Otani's been really good in the series, but he's a guy that at any minute can break loose. I like the Dodgers tonight only because I think they're going to go to Toronto with a lot to prove. There's a lot to be said for the words defending world champions. Those guys are going to play with a little extra incentive tonight. And then I tell you, it's a toss-up for Game 7. If it goes Game 7, the pressure obviously swings back on the Blue Jays if that happens.
Yeah.
Pressure's on the Dodgers tonight. But I believe we'll see a Dodgers win tonight. And what would be cool, though, is if the Blue Jays have the lead late and we could see Hoffman tonight would be awesome.
Yeah, Jeff Hoffman, we are remiss in mentioning that a lot of times because Hoffman is a big part of what Toronto has done for their success this year, and, of course, an ECU guy like yourself. All right. Hey, Jake, good to talk to you, man. We'll catch up with you really soon. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Hey, Patrick, let me share this last thing with you. Saw a stat last night. Otani faces Yasavage.
Mm-hmm.
Yasavage strikes him out. The at-bat cost the Blue Jays $500. The at-bat cost the Dodgers $45,000.
Interesting. Good stuff. All right,
Gotta
Jake,
love that
thank you,
stuff.
man. Yeah, you got that's the beauty of the game. See you, buddy. The great Jake Jacobs. What an American Jake Jacobs is. All right, it is the final Friday of the high school football regular season on this Halloween. There are games being played. We've got a couple of them on our airwaves tonight. We're going to talk to our pal Luke Schwartz from WCTI 12 Sports and the Blitz to get you set for all the high school football action tonight.
This is about you, your family, and the health of all who live in Eastern North Carolina. This is about the transformation of a health system into something more powerful and more human, about creating new ways to treat disease and keep you well. This is about ECU Health, which is to say, it's really all about you. ECU Health. Minds, hearts, purpose.
You have a choice when you invest in insurance, and when you choose First State Insurance Advisors, you're working with people you can trust. Clark Stallings has deep ties in the community. His team, including Keaton Smith, Regina Asby, Phil Leyva, Max Joyner Jr., Max Joyner III, and Ginger Smith, provides knowledgeable and professional advice. First State Insurance Advisors is an independent insurance agency. They offer all types of personal insurance as well as various types for business. Call or email First State Insurance Advisors today. We want to be your trusted choice agency.
At Parker's Barbecue, our family has been serving your family for 3 generations.
For that, we say thank you. Blessing families every Thursday. Kids eat free all day. That's the Parker's way.
Legendary food served from our 3 locations. Always quick, always delicious. That's the Parker's way.
At Parker's, our mission is to impact our customers through Christ-like service in a way that feeds them both physically and spiritually. That is the Parker's way.
Acre Station Meat Farm, along with Lane Angus Beef, bring you farm to fork beef.
Stock your freezers now with affordable beef boxes just in time for the grilling season.
Farm to fork beef brings quality local beef to your family. From your traditional butcher shop, Acre Station Meat Farm. Come on down to Acre Station Meat Farm and find out why we're #1 in fresh cuts and friendly service.
Acre Station Meat Farm, Highway 32 North, Pinetown.
Storm season is approaching. North Carolina weather can damage your roof, and before long, a small leak can turn into a big problem. Your home is one of your biggest investments, so protect it with Wells Home Improvements.
We work with all insurance companies for a hassle-free roof installation experience. Call us today and get 10% off your roof installation when you mention this commercial.
252-227-8403 or visit us online at wellshomeimprovements.com. Wells Home Improvements. Local, honest, dependable.
And now, the stunning conclusion. Why is everyone screaming? On 94.3 The Game.
All right, welcome back. We've got high school football tonight on 94.3 The Game. It will be J.H. Rose visiting D.H. Conley. 6:50 will be the airtime. 7 o'clock the kick between the Rampants and the Vikings. And we'll have the play-by-play for you right here on your home for Rampant Football, 94.3 The Game. Also on Oldies 94.1 and 102.7. It is going to be the matchup between Northside Jacksonville, who has had a surprising season, hosting Havelock, who's trying to get things right before the postseason. All right, so let's go now and welcome in a good friend of ours from WCTI 12 Sports and the Blitz, Luke Schwartz, to wrap up the high school football regular season tonight. How many games are being played tonight? I know there was a movement earlier in the week and really dating back for months, but there was even another push from the central office, as I understand it, earlier in the week to try to get Conley to move the game tomorrow to last night as opposed to tonight, mainly because of the law enforcement that'll be required at that game. And, obviously Halloween in Greenville, you need law enforcement on hand. So more than anything, that's the deal. Of course, the game is being played tonight anyway, so que sera, sera. But how many games, Mr. Schwartz, are being played tonight?
Oof. Well, I mean, it really depends where our, jurisdiction goes and how far we cover up north. We probably got about probably about 16 games going on tonight.
So I didn't think that many were being played. As I understood it, a lot of games were played last night, but maybe I was wrong about that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we had 10 games go on with local teams. I mean, West Carteret went all the way as far to Northwood out in Pittsboro. And then we had, last night I was at Jones Senior in Jacksonville against White Oak, the New Bern South Central game, as well as Aiden Grifton Farmville. So we had some teams that moved, and that was also because of Halloween. They decided that, for Jacksonville and White Oak, because that high school is right next to a bunch of neighborhoods, they didn't want the busyness with the streets while kids were trying to trick or treat. And so that was their best avenue, where other teams felt Friday would still be a great day to play football. And of course, I'm hoping there's some great costumes tonight.
That's what you're going to be shooting. You're going to be shooting the fans in the stands for the costumes tonight. Luke Schwartz, always wearing a tie. I notice now you're a little more cash in your day and age. Is that just an evolution of the wardrobe, or do you still get kind of dolled up, as they say, when you go out and shoot the games?
I think recently I'll go out into the field with just a shirt. Mostly, I honestly used to do it really because of time, because the Blitz is such a crunch. If you're trying to get back from Warsaw, an hour 20 drive back to New Bern, you get back to the station at 10:30 and you have 3 games to edit plus post-game sound. I'm just thinking about how fast can I edit that? Where can I eliminate where I lose time? And usually that comes from wardrobe. So if I already have my tie on and the only thing I need to do is mic up and put on my jacket, I'm saving myself 3 or 4 minutes that I could use editing a post-game interview or an extra highlight or something cool that I would lose while trying to wrap the tie and go, crap, it doesn't look good, and then I have to redo it. So mostly to save time. But yeah, honestly, I've went away a little bit from that just to be more casual. And now that, I'm not new kid on the block around some local high schools, I can dress down a little bit.
See, he only answered the question for Friday night, dude. He used to wear the whole suit and tie to a Tuesday ECU football press conference.
Yeah.
It was. I remember the first time I ever saw Luke not in a tie. I snapped a picture and he wasn't looking and texted it to Patrick. Your boy Schwartz doesn't have a tie on. I
remember
dumbfounded.
That. I thought to myself, who is it? Who is this person?
I will say, when he was at the Panthers game 3 weeks ago, he did have a tie on at the I saw him running around on the sidelines. Yeah.
Luke's a professional. That's why. I just I like casual
If it's an away game. Yeah, if ECU's on the road or something, I'm definitely going to wear a suit and tie, or Panthers, just because I'm new there. But now that I've established relationships with coaches and people, I feel like I can dress a little bit more appropriately. But Panthers, I'm like NFL game. Don't get many opportunities to come out here and cover the Panthers, so I might as well put on the suit and tie and look nice.
Real quick, I do know Patrick wants to ask a lot of high school football questions, but Seattle will be coming to Carolina. You're a Seahawks fan. That's going to be either the Saturday after Christmas or the Sunday after Christmas. If it does not coincide with an ECU bowl game, will you be in Bank of America Stadium to watch your Seahawks play the Panthers?
It really depends if I'm at home. I talked to my dad about that. I said, we need a boys trip to go to Bank of America Stadium to see our Seahawks play. Come fly out here from Portland and let's go see them. But we don't know. So every game we know the time, we know what day it's being played. But because it's either going to be on Christmas or the next day, the following, the 26th, we're like, well, we just have to kind of wait and see when they actually play and what time it's going to be at, because that will dictate a lot. And if I could be back home in Oregon already spending Christmas with family if ECU's pushed back. And what happened last year, I couldn't go home because high school football got pushed back a week because of the hurricane in Western Carolina. So that was a week later. And then ECU playing on the 27th in the Military Bowl, that only gave about 5-6 days in between. And it takes 2 days to fly from, 2 days, one to go back and one to come back here. So I'm like, well, I can't really go home for Christmas. So this year, fingers crossed, I can go home and see some family.
Well, I hope you do. That's what I want you to do, is to whatever works best for you, Luke Schwartz. Luke Schwartz from WCTI 12 Sports in the Blitz. Okay, we got Rose and Conley tonight, on our airwaves. As I understand it, Rose is obviously playing for a chance, if you believe the projections, to get a first-round bye if they beat Conley. Could knock Conley away from that. Obviously, Conley's trying to maintain its 7A, a first-round bye. So that's kind of what's on the line there. If you're talking about what the result yields, of course, there's the bragging rights. What are some other games? And I'm assuming Jacksonville won last night over White Oak. So, I mean, they've kind of locked up their top seed situation in the 6A in the East. What are some other games tonight where, stuff's on the line and what is on the line? And maybe a quick thought or two from you on Rose Conley.
Yeah, Rose Conley is a great matchup. I think Nate Connors really coached up his boys really well at Conley, and Samari Cabell, Shema Cabell, that brother relationship works really good on offense, and they beat New Bern 2 weeks ago, a hard contested Jacksonville team that they lost last week, and this is obviously a rivalry, and Will Bland's going to throw everything he has at the Vikings, and he's moved that offense around a lot. They started with a different quarterback, and then they're ending the season with Case and Chase, and so I think it's two explosive teams that are going to put up a lot of points tonight, so that should be a really good matchup. I'm also looking at James Keenan, Wallace Rose Hill. That's a huge one in Duplin County. People just flood out of their homes to come see the Tigers play the Bulldogs. That's also for the Swine Valley Conference because James Keenan is undefeated in the Swine Valley. Wallace Rose Hill has one loss in the Swine Valley, so they could share the conference title. That's going to be played at James Keenan. Last year they were undefeated. All year the Tigers went to Legion Stadium against Wallace and lost to Kevin Motzinger, and that was for conference, and the Bulldogs had already lost 2 games on the year. So I'm excited for that one. Hobton North Duplin as well. That's also for the Big Carolina, or the Carolina East Conference. That's for a conference title. Hugh Martin always does a great job. Gosh, he's coached there for so long. He was in the Shrine Bowl a couple of years ago wearing that green jacket. Then if you go up to over by Goldsboro, Eastern Wayne, West Craven, that's another one for conference. I mean, West Craven's had an unbelievable season. Their only loss was to New Bern in week 3. Both coaches got suspended for a game. And how did they come back? And I think West Craven showed you that they're fired up and they're ready to go. And they haven't lost to anybody since. So they've won, 5 straight games. So 5-0 in the last, of course, 5 weeks, and 4-0 in conference. Need to beat a really good Eastern Wayne Warriors team. And then that Havelock Northside Jacksonville game, I think is going to be really fun because, like you mentioned before, it's their best start to the season since 2012 when they made it to the state championship and lost. And they started the year 15-0 before they lost that title game. They're 8-1, look really strong. They have a sophomore quarterback who's fantastic, Reginald Gray. They have a starting wide receiver that's about 5'0", Gavin Davis, but boy, can he haul in the football and run down the field, and he's so elusive and versatile, and Kendrick Pollock is such a smart mind, and talking to him, you just really learn the game. But Brent Wooten and Havelock, they're just historic for great football teams, so when they started the season so slow, you're like, what is happening? This is Havelock football we're talking about. How do they have an 0-3 record? But they're picking up the pieces. They're starting to find their identity, and winning is contagious. And Brian got to talk to Brent earlier in the week, and that's what Brent was talking about. Like they're understanding what the winning formula looks like now as a younger team, and they're starting to put it together. And they've only lost 1 game in conference, which was to Croatan. They've looked brilliant all season. They're only lost to Northside, so that's going to be a shootout, I think, between 2 teams that are, Northside already being very good this season, and Havelock is on the rise. They're going to be, I think, one of the most dangerous teams in the playoffs, I think, this year. Now that they've got their stuff together, they're going to come in as a low seed because of how they started the season. But watch out for Havelock. I think they're going to make a really deep run in the postseason.
Yeah, I would. If I'm an opposing coach, I do not want to see the name Havelock on my seed line on Sunday.
Me neither.
That would be concerning. I don't care what kind of year you have had. And they will be releasing the standings or the seedings for both boys soccer and football on Sunday. We'll know the brackets then because of the volleyball championships today and tomorrow in Winston-Salem and Raleigh, respectively. And, of course, you guys will be covering that as well because of all the local flavor there. All right, Luke, tell everybody tonight where they can, what time and where they can watch the Blitz. And if they miss it tonight, you can go, I guess, on YouTube and always watch it, right? So lay that out for the peoples.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. I mean, if you're able to get back and watch tonight at 11:05 on WCTI 12 on ABC, we love to have you watching, but we understand that sometimes you're driving back home, it's a long distance, and then by the time you get home, you just want to go to sleep. So it'll be on our 7 a.m. show on the weekend too, so when you wake up, start the day with the Blitz. And if you don't catch it there and you want to sleep in, check it out on our YouTube page, WCTI 12, and we do the Blitz Extra, which gives us way more time than we have because TV, it's always that time constraint, so we have to hit certain time cues and points, and so we're able to show a lot more games on the Blitz Extra, and then Brian and I actually talk about each game and kind of get to show our knowledge a little bit too. Sometimes you're just racing through those games so much, it's nice to have a chance to kind of show what we know and talk a little bit deeper football. And like last week, Brian showed us all that he said he's professional and he's not going to wear a Halloween costume, and I made him walk around the desk and he looked like AC/DC, and he has his little shorts on, but he's got the jacket and tie, and I'm like, yeah, real professional, Brian, real professional. So it's a fun time, and we have a blast on that show, and tonight we're debuting some custom ties, so that's our Halloween costume. So we're looking forward to it. So those are all the places you can check us out. And, of course, we'll be posting to our social medias of where we're at. If you're at Hobden High School or James Keenan, that's where I'll be tonight. So come say hello.
Thank you, Luke. Appreciate it.
Patrick, you're the man. Philip, you're the man. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you for having me on.
Good to see you, man.
Great to have Luke Schwartz with us here. All right, so we will have high school football tonight. Connolly playing host to J.H. Rose. Dylan Johnson, Walt Pollard will be on the call of that one. Coming up on Monday, a special time for Inside Pirate Athletics, 12:30 from Tiebreakers. And you can hear that here on 94.3 The Game. Will Igo be on before or no Igo on Monday?
Yeah, it'll be a half-hour hoist the colors.
Okay, so I go at noon till 12:30, Inside Pirate Athletics, and then we'll have the Patrick Johnson Show. And then we'll be broadcasting Tuesday from Minges Coliseum ahead of the basketball opener, and Chancellor Philip Rogers will be our guest during that show. So looking forward to having him. Thanks to Luke Schwartz, thanks to Jake Jacobs, thanks to you, Pilk. Pirates at Temple tomorrow, and that game will begin at 2 at 11 a.m. airtime with Pilk and Joey Football here on 94.3 The Game tomorrow on the IPX Media app. Have a great Halloween.